to YouTube channel SchoolQuizz.com. As you know, my name is Danish Agarwal. As we have started our chapter number 2, that is matter around us pure. Is matter around us pure, in which we have started our separating techniques, in which we have discussed almost all the separating techniques. Just like few one are left. Like first of all, crystallization technique. So we will discuss orchestration technique in this video. So let's start. We will discuss it with the help of activity. Like activity is given in your NCRT. So we will understand it with the help of that. So that is chapter number 2. Chapter number 2, that is matter around us pure. Chapter number 2, that is matter around us pure. Is matter around us pure, in which we will discuss our separating technique, that is crystallization. So we will start with the help of like activity or experiment. So like in your given, that is what is first of all, perform the following experiment. Perform the following experiment. Like 5 points are there. First one is take about 5 gram of 5 gram of impure sample. Take about 5 gram of impure sample of sugar containing chalk powder or dirt as impurity. Containing chalk powder or dirt as a impurity. Second one is dissolve the sample in minimum quantity of water. Dissolve the sample in minimum quantity of water. Third one is filter the impurities and select the solution. Filter the impurities and collect the solution. Filter the impurities and collect the solution. In a China dish. Fourth one is heat the solution. Heat the solution to saturate it. The solution to saturate it. Fifth one is cover the solution with the filter paper. Cover the solution with the filter paper. Cover the solution with the filter paper and leave it undisturbed. To cool slowly. Sixth point is you will obtain the crystals of sugar in a dish. You will obtain the crystals of sugar in a dish. So like 6 points are given of the experiment. First one is we have to take 5 gram of impure sample of sugar containing chalk powder or dirt as a impurity. We have to dissolve it in the minimum quantity of water. Like we have to filter the impurities and collect in the solution in a China dish. And fourth one is we have to heat it to its saturation point. That is maximum solubility can be achieved. That is heat the solution to saturate it. Fifth one is cover the solution with the filter paper and leave it undisturbed to cool slowly. Like when we left it for cool, crystals are obtained. And sixth one is you will obtain the crystals of sugar in a dish. Like three questions are given. like first one is what do you observe in a china dish? So we have to answer the following questions. First question is, what do you observe in china dish? What do you observe in a china dish? So what we observe in china dish. Second one is, how will you separate the crystals from the liquid in the china dish? How will you separate the crystals of the liquid, crystals of a liquid in a china dish, third one is how will you separate, third one is, why is heating of solution required? Why is heating of solution is required? So we have to answer these three questions. So we will write it as, we observe that crystals of pure sugar are formed in china dish. So what we have observed, that is we have observed that like this point is given, we have observed that crystals of pure sugar are formed in a china dish. Crystals of pure sugar are formed in a china dish. Like second one, we can say that the crystals of can be separated from the liquids by separation. The crystals of or we can write it as, crystals can be separated by or we can write it as, can be separated from the liquids by filtration. So third point is we heat the solution. Heating is required to saturate the solution. That is, maximum solubility can be obtained. So after doing this experiment, we can come to a definition, that is, what is crystallization. So what is crystallization? So we have already discussed what is crystallization. It can be written as, it may be defined as a process. This whole process is known as that is crystallization. So crystallization can be written as, it is a process which separates a pure solid in the form of its crystal from a solution. So this is the definition of crystallization, that is, it is a process which separates a pure solid in the form of its crystals from a solution. When we leave it for some time, we will leave it for cool down. If it is cooled down, it gets separated into form of crystals. That's why it is regarded as a process crystallization. So we will write it applications. That is, first one is, for the purification of salt, purification, for the purification of salt, for the purification of salt which we get from sea water, which we get from sea water. And second one is separation of crystals of alum, separation of crystals from alum. Alum is what? Alum is fit curry. We can get it as a fit curry. Fit curry. Alum or copper sulfate, that is CuSO4, from its impure sample, So these are the two major applications of technique crystallization. A very important question comes, that is this technique is regarded as a better technique than evaporation. This technique is better regarded than evaporation. So why it is so? It's a very important 2 marks question. So we will complete it in this video also. So why crystallization technique is preferred over evaporation? It's a very important 2 marks question. That is why crystallization technique is preferred over evaporation. Why crystallization technique is preferred better for preferred over evaporation? It's a very important question. So we can write it as that some solids decompose. Some solids decompose, or some solids decompose, or some solids like sugar, may get charred, in heating to dryness. Second one is some impurities may remain in the solution. Some impurities may remain in the solution even on filtration. So the solution may not be very pure. So the solution may not be very pure. So this technique is preferred over evaporation due to these two major points. It is a very important question. It comes in 2 marks question. So we have discussed our preparation technique, that is crystallization, and why it is preferred over evaporation. So this is all about today's topic, that is crystallization. So thank you very much, students. Thank you very much.